Hi everyone. Hope you guys have had a great week, and now today it's Friday, and so we're ready for the weekend. But before the weekend starts, I wanted to go over a few math problems with you. I saw a lot of kids having some questions about missing add-ins, and so I want to just do a few lessons and kind of start easy and then work our way up. And I think you'll see it's pretty easy to figure out a missing add-in. We're just going to turn the equation around to a subtraction equation, and hopefully you'll see a correlation between what we're doing and a fact family. We've done a lot of work with fact families this year, and so I think it'll help to kind of make things make sense a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do some math problems together, and you can write them out with me if you want to, and we'll go ahead and do the equations together. Okay? So let's first of all start off with something easy, okay, something that we can probably just already know by looking at it, so we kind of get the concept or the idea of what we're doing. So let's say that we have a problem like this: 3 plus something equals 5, right? Okay, so if you want to write this down, you can, and do it with me. So if I have 3 things, so let's just draw a picture. If I have 3 circles, right, but I have to get to 5 circles, how many more circles do I need to make a group of 5? Okay, well, that's pretty easy. You can kind of just count up, right? So I could say 3, 4, 5, and I'm stopping at 5 because that's my sum or my answer to my plus equation, right? So 3, 4, 5. I know I would need 2 more, right? So of course my missing add-in is 2, because 3 plus 2 equals 5, right? Now, I hope that you can see a turnaround equation or a subtraction fact family equation in what we just did, right? I could have figured it out like this. Let's say I didn't know what the 2 was. I could have figured it out: 5, taking my 5 here, take away 3, right, equals 2. And of course, do you see my fact family? I'm using the same 3 numbers, doing a plus equation and a takeaway equation. Okay, so my answer, of course, is 2. All right, well, that's pretty easy, right? And you probably were doing that at the end of 1st grade or the beginning of 2nd grade, but of course, now that we're at the end of 2nd grade, you know, the problems get a little harder. So let's do a few more with some higher numbers together, okay? So let's go ahead and do this one here. 6 plus something equals 10. Okay, so I could do this 2 different ways. I could start with my 6, and I could count up until I get to 10. So let's try it together. Ready? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and remember, I'm stopping at 10 because that's my sum. So how high did I have to count up? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 6 plus 4 equals 10. Now, here again, I could have turned it into a subtraction equation, right? I could have taken my 10, take away 6, right, equals 4. Okay, so I could have taken my plus equation and did a turnaround fact or a fact family using subtraction, always using my sum first. That's the highest number to start my subtraction equation with. Okay, so let's do a few harder ones. Okay, let's say I have 4 plus something equals 17. Okay, well, now we're getting a little bit higher. I don't have this many fingers. I don't have 17 fingers, right, to be able to count up. So what I can do is turn it into a subtraction equation. So I'm going to write it the up and down way, like we used to do in class, because that sometimes makes it easier for figuring out a math equation. So I'm going to start with the sum. 17 is bigger than 4, so that's why I'm starting with the sum. So 17, right, take away 4. Well, I already know that 7 take away 4 equals 3. 1 take away nothing equals 1. So my missing add-in is 13. 4 plus 13 equals 17. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's do another one. Okay, let's try, how about 15 plus something equals 35? Okay, well, I'm going to do a turnaround fact or a fact family equation, right? I'm going to take my highest number out of the 2, which one's higher, the 15 or the 35? Well, the 35 is, that's my sum. So 35, I'm going to change the sign to subtraction. I'm going to bring my number 15 down. 5 take away 5 equals 0. 3 take away 1 equals 2. So my missing addend is 20. 15 plus 20 equals 35. Okay, well, let's keep going. What happens if the missing addend is in the front? Let's say it's like this. Something plus 11 equals 41. Okay, well, I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with my sum, which is 41. I'm going to turn it into a subtraction equation. 41 subtract 11, right? 1 take away 1 equals 0. 4 take away 1 equals 3. And my answer is 30, right? 30 plus 11 equals 41. All right, so let's do a little harder one. Let's try something like this. Let's do 12 plus something equals 60. So I'm going to start with 60, right? 60, that's my bigger number out of the two, and I'm going to subtract. 60 take away 12. I'm trying to get this number here. Well, you might notice now I'm going to have to regroup, right? Because can I do it? Right? When there's more on the floor, go next door, right? 0 take away 2. I can't do it. If I have 0 apples, I can't give you 2 apples, right? So my 0 asks my 6 for a set of 10. Remember, the 6 turns into a 5. The 6 says, here's your set of 10. Right? The 0 is the one that asked for the set of 10. So the 10 and the 0 get together, and now my 0 is a 10. So 10 take away 2, of course, is 8. 5 take away 1 is 40. So 12 plus 48 equals 60. Okay, so you might have an extra step if you have to regroup in your subtraction equation to figure out your missing addend. Okay, so I hope that helps out a little bit with a few of those math equations. Remember, it's like a fact family, right? Let's try and do a fact family, right? Let's do, how about 5 plus 3 equals 8, right? Or I flip it, 3 plus 5 equals 8. Now my two subtraction equations, right? 8 take away 3 equals 5. Or what if I did this? 8 take away something equals 3. Well, you know, my missing addend is going to be the 5, right? Okay, so think about fact families. Think about turning those equations into a subtraction equation. Always start with the sum first because that's the largest number out of the two that you're working with, right? And remember, you might have to regroup. There might need to be an extra step in there to figure out the missing addend. Okay, so maybe mom or dad can give you a few to practice with, right? If you need a little bit more practice, you could probably write some up too on your own if you wanted to. Okay, so I hope that helps out, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will look forward to seeing you next week.